Hello, everybody. My name is Alex Sirota, and I'm the WordPress Toronto Organizer for Let's Fix Your WordPress Website Meetup. It is March 16th, 2021, and I want to welcome you to this month's edition of the Meetup. We're expecting probably about 20 people or so, I imagine. We usually have about half the people that register usually come out. So that's kind of what I'm expecting today, but we'll see how that all works out. We have 16 people in the meeting now, and along with my co-host Dan Stramer, we'll be addressing your questions and issues that you might come up with. As usual, we have weglot.com as the sponsor, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about weglot, since I think we actually didn't do that last month. weglot is a translation service that runs in the cloud. It's a little bit different than most translation services. What it does is it actually, whenever somebody visits your site and they switch to a different language that you've configured, it will automatically translate everything on that page for you on the fly. And it doesn't require any plugins to be running translating content on your site. So you don't actually have to do translations. It does translations in the cloud. And then if you want to override any of the built-in translations, you have a dashboard you can log into and just change any of the translations on the fly. It does this for forms, blog posts, pages. Only thing it doesn't do yet is graphics and videos, although I wouldn't be surprised in the next few years they implement that kind of functionality too. So if you're interested, go over to weglot.com and sign up for a free account. I believe it allows you several thousand words to be translated. There is a WordPress plugin that you can add and just simply configure it with your account, password, and username, and identify which languages you'd like to have on your site, and it'll put up a little flag menu that allows you to switch languages, and it works really great. So if you give it a try, I'm sure they'll appreciate it, because they are one of our sponsors. And there's a video which I'll share in the chat. I won't play it this time because we probably have a lot of questions. But I'll share the video that you can check a look at your own time. That's a little short video of the weglot product, and that is it for weglot. Let's see here. So I see that there has been a few questions posted. Let me start with. Actually, one of them has already been solved. Looks like. Okay, Paul, are you here? Paul Warner.
Yes, I am.
Hey, Paul. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you all?
Good, thank you. Welcome to our meetup. I think this is. Have you joined before?
Yeah, I think 2 or 3 times.
Okay, great. So you posted a few days ago that you're getting an error in your dashboard.
Yeah, and I've actually been banished from my office because my wife is busy in there, and I'm on an old laptop that I don't use too often. So I've logged on in this other computer. I don't know whether it has anything to do with it, but it looks like maybe it's working, because I just I said when I go to widgets, it might be my other site. That's probably what it is. Hang on just a second.
Yeah, usually a problem like this doesn't just go away by itself.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got two kind of family history sites that I
This one is on pricefamily.info.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
I can tell that because of the error has that in the the directory name.
Yeah, let me I'm used to 2 big 27-inch monitors, and I'm on a little 13-inch here, and it's kind of throwing me. Actually, I'll get straightened out. Go to the next question if there is one, and then I'll come back.
Well, actually, Drew Mathers, who I think is on the call here today.
Yeah, I'm here.
Drew, you shared this is a known bug in JetPack?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no fix for it yet, but there is a temporary workaround. There's one JetPack module that you can turn off It's the widget visibility module.
Okay.
That just, in the current version of JetPack, that just doesn't work.
Copy
Okay.
and paste. I'll copy and paste the Drew's message off meetup.com into the chat here. So the error is inside of, this looks like the error is being thrown inside of the administrative code. It's not a plugin error even. It's like a WordPress core error, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So uninstalling JetPack would not fix it?
Yeah, that would fix it because you don't have to install the whole thing. You can just deactivate JetPack Widget Visibility.
Okay.
There's a plugin or a JetPack feature called Widget Visibility.
Okay. Okay. I misunderstood. I thought you said that it wasn't operative. But okay.
The error is on JetPack side, and so
Yeah.
but it actually has like a side effect.
Okay. Well, if that's the way to fix it, that's what I'll do.
Drew, how did you find this error so quickly?
I Googled the error message.
There you go.
Okay. Maybe I should.
That's a good that sometimes you get like a winner like Drew get if you just Google the error message directly. It's entirely possible that somebody has encountered this and you may get the answer directly to your question.
Mm-hmm.
Not always, because sometimes the error is not necessarily what is actually happening, and so it is an error, but it's a side effect of something else. But it sounds like in this case,
when you Google the error messages, you have to be careful to pick out anything that is unique to your site alone. Make sure that you only get stuff that would be on any WordPress site. So anything from the WordPress directory on down, so not including your own home directory.
Okay.
Yeah. In this case, you had a couple of errors that were being listed. Yeah. But in general, if you get errors on your front end of the website, sometimes it's a result of a configuration parameter in WP config called debug, WP debug. There's several different configuration parameters that you can turn on to show errors on the front end, and usually these are turned off. So if there's errors being thrown that are warnings, they will not be displayed. But you can display them, and you can see then any errors being thrown, which will kind of mess up your site because it will be thrown usually at the top of the page. Okie doke. Let us know if that helps you, Paul. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Stuff. Okay, Cindy, you have a question. Why don't you go ahead and ask it in our meeting?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. Hey, thanks for having us. So yeah, I'm just basically looking to see what would be the best, like either like a pop-up or something where people can subscribe to like an email or newsletter. I'm currently using what is it? I've got a few of them. I'm not really sure. I believe it's Easy Sign Up or one of those, but it shows up really small at the bottom. So I'd love to have something that either is like a beautiful pop-up or somewhere that I can actually just place it in different sites. And I was hoping you guys might have any advice.
So you want layout flexibility. It has a function, but you want to be able to kind of design it and make it make it come up in different. Okay. Anybody have any site pop-ups?
I was just wondering, Cindy, what's the URL of the site that it's on? Can you paste it into the chat, please?
Sure. It's just my name, cindygomez.com, www.
Oh, okay. So somebody Bob Delaney just said you can use Mailchimp, and that's really good advice.
And but what's the actual plugin for the actual WordPress?
They have you can integrate it. They give you like a thing.
Oh,
there's
okay.
one plugin that I have it's integrated with Mailchimp. It's called Pop-Up Maker. And
okay.
choose whether it comes in the middle or in the bottom or on the side and the color and all different stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Because I do have the MailChimp, but yeah, I'm just getting started with this whole thing.
Yeah, so if you already use MailChimp and you're sending emails through that, that's what you want to do. You want to connect your WordPress site so that it automatically flows the emails into MailChimp, and MailChimp, the plugin will communicate with MailChimp through their API.
Okay, so pop-up maker is what you say.
Yeah, let's see.
That's one that that was one that I used that sounded like what you're looking for.
Right, because like right now, if you look at my site, it's like this little small thing at the bottom. It doesn't really look nice, and
Yeah, I see that.
really, yeah, it doesn't have those. When you go to a nice site, it has those nice pop-ups or something, you know, on different pages where you can select it or put it in where you like.
And you wanted it also to be like consistent with your logo, your logo here.
Yeah.
And stuff, yeah.
You can style it. I mean, you can write CSS that's going to impact that plugin.
Yeah, I'm zero technicality.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need something that's plug and play.
Let's find some of these plugins and I'll share them on our screen so everyone can see it, so we can describe it. So you're familiar with the plugin directory, right? The plugin.
A little bit. I've had someone who helped, put most of it together, and I'm just kind of trying to figure a little bit more out myself.
It's all good. It's all good. So when you go to wordpress.org/plugins,
Yep.
or if you go into your dashboard and select add new plugin, you'll be able to search the directory of over 60,000 plugins. Yeah. Most of these are free. Some of them have a free version and a commercial version. So this one was mentioned. I'm not sure who mentioned Pop-Up Maker, but this is responsive pop-up exit. This does a lot more than registration. So what you can do is when somebody closes a page, you can throw up a message, or
yes,
it does quite a bit of stuff. Now the key is does it integrate with Mailchimp? I would imagine there's a little video here.
Okay.
It is pretty popular. It's been tested to the latest version, which is good. So I just went to this plugins and searched Pop-Up Maker, and it came up with this kind of little. Think of the plugins as like an app store for WordPress.
Right.
That's kind of what it's like. Like on a phone, you have the App Store. This is kind of a similar idea, extensions to WordPress. So let's just see here. So here's your HTML pop-up. There's a Mailchimp pop-up. Yep. So there is a Mailchimp. You can create pop-ups for all kinds of things, not just on Mailchimp. Subscribe.
Love it. This is exactly what I'm looking for.
You can create a PayPal account. You can do a video pop-up. Lots of different options. Lots of options. So let's see here. Is this? Yeah. There's a newsletter. So this is a matter of just installing this and configuring it. There's some FAQs here on how to configure it. It looks like this is. It looks like it's a free version. There might be actually sometimes these these products have a commercial feature, and that's how they make their money. So they have like although I don't see that exactly here, if they have that. So they may charge for support or something like that. But that's something you want to consider with these plugins, kind of their level of support.
Right.
And how frequently it's updated. This seems to be updated fairly frequently, which is really good. So another one that was mentioned in the chat is by Bob. Search for Mailchimp plugin. Yeah, okay. So Bob's suggesting just search Mailchimp plugin like that in the plugin directory.
Okay.
And what this will do is will give you all of the Mailchimp plugins, and there's quite a bit. This is actually a very popular one, MC4WP. It's specifically for Mailchimp, so it doesn't do all the other things that other pop-up maker does. But this is it's the unofficial Mailchimp plugin, but it's got a lot of installations, which means it's probably very good. I'll go ahead and copy that to the chat. Let's see what else. let's see here, easy forms for Mailchimp. That's probably, ability to collect some information. There's our, I think this is our pop-up maker, I believe. It's the same one we're looking at. I don't remember. Let's take a look and see. I think so. The same name here. Oh no, looks different. Huh. Okay. This one has more popularity in terms of number of installations. I tend to look for that because that means that it's got more support. But this looks like another one that does that kind of work. So I'll share. There's a lot here. So one of these things is like you're going to want to choose one that you think is easier to configure and makes sense for you to use. Let's see. This is Mike was asking, is it a paid? Are you charging for the subscription, or is it just a free email sign up?
No, it's just to be able to have, send messages and new updates and stuff like that to people, free.
Dan suggesting one called Popped In.
Popped In.
Popped In. It's a cute name.
Yeah, it's you have to sign up with them, but it's a pretty good customizable graphic interface for people who don't use code.
Yeah, that's me.
So it's got a lot of these kind of auto
response. Yeah, they have various stuff, exit intent and timers and lots of locations.
Here are a couple of, this is nice when they show you examples. So here's a lightbox pop-up. So it presents this kind of like a overlay over your website.
That's what I'm looking for. Those are pretty, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a floating box, which is a little thing like at the bottom. There's a full screen pop-up, which takes over your whole screen. There's a slide in, which is kind of an animation, kind of slides in, sidebars.
Now, if you've built your site with a page builder like Elementor, for example, I don't know if you have, but
I think so. I have an Aveda, and I think originally there was an Elementor. I can't remember now.
Okay. So sometimes these I know that Elementor ships with a pop-in pop-up manager thing, so you wouldn't need another plugin.
Okay.
I'm not sure that Aveda has that baked in. But if you have, like, the idea is that if it's already part of the theme, you wouldn't need an extra plugin.
Okay, I'll check for that first then.
So you're using, let's see, you have Contact Form 7 installed according to your.
I do, yeah. There's a few I see I'm looking at the plugins right now, and oh yeah, you're right. Contact Form is the one that's, because I had tried a few and then some of them didn't really give me what I was looking for. So they're kind of deactivated, but I can see them.
Yeah, you're using a beta actually.
Yeah. So then I don't have.
I use Convert Pro, and there are some which come with Elementor as well. But Convert Pro actually gives me the ability to customize these pages and with a GUI format, and that way at least I don't have to worry about it. And then I have stats on where it went, and you can follow the visitors as well on those type of things. So Convert Pro it's a paid plugin. You can try it out and see how it works, etc.
Okay, I'll check that one out. Thank you.
Lots of options. It's really a matter of what works best for you, and what you can try to experiment with, basically.
No, that's amazing. You guys have been super helpful. Thank you.
Lots of options. Good. All right. Boris, did you want to mention something about pop-ups?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, good. No, just pop-ups. Usually, I notice on some sites, as soon as you hit the home page or any page, it pops up once. Do you want to sign in? Then it usually goes away. I guess what Cindy should have is maybe a larger area on there. Now, the other thing too. Now, remember years ago, a lot of the browsers they would have like a pop-up preventer and stuff like that. Is that still valid, or control themselves.
Yeah, no, that's much harder to control now because those were actually those pop-ups actually open new windows, new browser windows. And yeah, that is still can be controlled and is discouraged to do that. But these pop-ups are like, think of them as content. So they're not opening new windows, they're just opening up new content on a page based on
type window.
Yeah.
They're if you're going to use a plugin that has a modal, which is that window that goes on top of everything, try using it with your keyboard without touching the mouse, and then that's going to help you know if they're going to be accessible to people with disabilities, because stuff like that, people can get trapped in a modal.
Mm-hmm.
Or often if you're using a keyboard, some modals don't keep the focus in the modal, so that you tab through everything underneath, but you don't get where you want to go. So, you know, some of them work and some of them don't. So that's the thing to check. Can you use it without using your mouse?
Good point. I guess it depends on the quality of the pop-up then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how it's coded.
Okay.
Good stuff. Any other questions, Cindy?
No, I think that covers it. Now I got to do a little research and test it out. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
Can I comment on that?
Yeah.
Right. You know, the whole world is in business and industries. It's email marketing today, using a landing page, and when but you still have to pay a monthly fee. It's about the same price as Netflix per month, but they vary. But it has everything in it, and it's you know, it's about lead generation, about getting more leads and sending them out newsletters, which I think some of you do, but this is all, they provide you templates, like hundreds of templates for newsletters or autoresponders. They're just sort of they send them, you can schedule them in to go out to all the leads. You could, you know, content, you can send out content, but it has pop-up templates for landing pages that has pop-ups right in them. I wanted to know, I'm just curious to know, because it's quite high tech and complicated, this whole email marketing. I think it's very effective in today's age, though, very effective, very popular. But is anyone here on an email like Mailchimp is like a CMR? It's like that's one, but I don't think it has the same amount of templates that other ones do. Like I'm on one called Get Response, and they're in Europe, and you basically can create anything. It's all, you know, embedded in it. So is anybody here subscribing to an email marketing, like a landing page creator? Because the landing page, it also gives you newsletters to send out, autoresponders, and they all have pop-ups. So you just choose, you can choose one that appeals to your taste, and then you customize it. Then you edit it for your contacts.
Well,
Anyone else here on that?
We're all using WordPress, so everybody is on a landing page creator because WordPress.
No, yeah, but is anyone using an email mark? You're all using WordPress, but I think there are advantages to the email marketing packages where you do subscribe, but I think it's faster. It has everything ready-made, all ready to go. No, I guess no one here is on one. I was just gonna see if anyone recommends any other ones, because the one I'm on is a little pricey. So it's a little pricey, but I love the creative aspect of it. I love the designs and everything.
That's usually what you're paying for.
And which basically.
That's what you're paying for. Because normally if you have to hire a designer, it'll be more expensive than that. So if you have already pre-made designs and everything. But yeah, there's quite a bit of landing page creators, Unbounce, and there's tons of them.
About the landing page, a landing page is like a 2-page, as you all know, like a 2-page website, right? But the thing is, it's conversion oriented. There's a lot of action buttons, there's pop-ups. That just basically, it's people, they put an ad in Facebook or Twitter or a Google ad, and that leads them to the landing page where you have a free offer. This is the whole world is doing this now. It's a free offer, and that's how you get your lead generation.
A landing page isn't really, the terminology is a marketing term for basically a page that has a call to action that converts part of the visitors to some kind of action. So registering for an email. So Cindy's idea of a pop-up window is a landing page, if you think about it, right? Because she's going to have it on every single page. You're going to have this conversion mechanism. The thing about landing pages, I think there's this kind of fascination with this idea of conversion, which makes sense. But the thing is that there's nothing extraordinarily special about a landing page. The idea of landing pages initially was that when you do advertising and do paid advertising, the reason why landing pages became so popular is because those ads click through to an unadvertised page on your website. So a landing page became simply a page that was not linked to from anywhere else on the site. And the reason why is you wanted to attribute conversion from ads display on another site or on Google to that landing page, and then the further conversion to actually registering. So this idea of a landing page was done in part when you bought ads. It didn't just create a landing page just to create a landing page. You created it when paying for online advertising, so that those ads pointed to that landing page and nobody else could visit that page, because the whole point is you wanted to see how well your advertisement was going. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a way to track it, to see if it's effective.
Exactly.
Yes, and the thing is, you're right about something. But the most websites are like brochures. You see, they're long and they're kind of boring to get
A
through.
landing page could be long and boring too, right? It all depends on whether you think it's going to convert or not, right?
What I'm trying to say is we can all consider converting our websites with more actions, more call to actions or pop-ups, or you can actually make it more conversion oriented.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, mine's just a portfolio type of web. Mine's just like a brochure, and you don't get any action from it. It's not.
Well, Cindy has on her homepage. She's got a call to action.
Contact form on the last page. That doesn't.
On Cindy's website, she's got to watch the official music video. That's a button underneath her name. So that's a call to action. She's got a video. That's a call to action. She's got a get it on iTunes link. That's a call to action. That's 3 already. She's got 4 share links under the video. That's 4 more calls to action. She's got 4 blog posts calls to action. She's got explore Julie Collect and call it.
Right.
Got download my music and the email. So Cindy, if anything, one thing you should consider, and I'm just wondering, how many calls to action on one page do you think is good so that you can actually convert as many as possible?
That is a very good question. I don't know. I guess
can I suggest the way to think about this is?
Sure, please.
So think about it from a math perspective. If you have 3 calls to action versus 1 call to action, the chances of 3 being equally visited are a third of only 1, meaning that think about it this way: you have 1,000 people that come to your website. There's only 1 call to action. A certain percentage of them, let's say 10%, will take that call to action. So you'll get 100 people. But if you've got 3 calls to action and those same 100 people are going to take a call to action, you are lucky if you'll get 33 on each one of those calls to action. And in fact, the more calls to action, the less conversion you get.
Correct.
You can improve this to yourself on a simple email marketing test. Set an email marketing link with a message with 1 call to action in the opening paragraph, and then another 4 or 5 underneath it. Which call to action do you think is going to be the most popular, especially if
the first one for sure.
First one for sure. It's like almost like you don't even have to test it. You know that's the case. The only time that's not the case is that somehow that first call to action is so bad that in fact people just kind of blow by it and go to the next one that's good. So the first good call to action, what I mean by good, is interesting, compelling, free, and all these kind of words, the colors that you're using, the text you're using, they do make a difference. But I would suggest that you have too many calls to action on your homepage. You probably have 3 or 4 that are really important, but I think there's probably 2.
I agree. It's the principle of one theme per page. Think that's the principle of it. So people are focused on the one theme. But I was just going to say that, you know, the websites don't lead to lead generation. You have to, that's the whole other ball game. You have to generate leads. So you do that through, you know.
Bob, do you want to add something? You've been adding some stuff to chat. So do you want to talk to what your experience with Mailchimp is? Bob Delaney? Bob? You there? Bob, are you there? I think you're muted. Okay. Well, Bob is actually was putting stuff in the chat, which is very good, I think. Is use Mailchimp to do landing pages, which totally I know they have this. So you can use in the free version of Mailchimp could be used to do landing pages, specifically for what Fern is talking about. So Fern, if you want a free landing page builder, Mailchimp does it.
I know, but it's missing a lot of stuff that the other ones have. But I'm tired of paying.
If you pay for it, then you'll get the other stuff. The free version has probably enough to get started.
Oh, a premium version. Oh,
yeah, the free version.
Yeah, the thing is, websites are long. And the thing is, websites are longish. And when someone's just clicking on an ad, a Facebook ad, they don't want to go to a whole long website. The landing pages are effective because you summarize within 2 pages. You summarize really quickly, just a few lines of bio, maybe a testimonial, the pop-up, or it's just more of an urge to action and focus on it. So it's less work for them to go through a landing page than it is a website. So
okay,
you want to keep.
Sorry.
Want to keep their attention. I think that's another reason that landing pages are there.
Okay, let's move on. Does anybody have another question they want?
Yes, it's Joseph Gerard. It's the first time I've been on here, so I'm not sure exactly how everything operates, but I'll get a hang of it. So the question I have was, I sent it out earlier today. It was regards to WooCommerce, where all the products in the view product area, you can see them. But when I try to put it on my store, I have 6 store categories. Some of the store categories are coming in, the products, and some of them, they're not loading up to WordPress.
Huh. You want to share your screen and show us what's going on? We'll see if we can help you.
Share the screen, yeah. Okay. Do I share? Is that what it is? What do I do?
I'm just muting other people here so that we have minimum background noise, other than the person that's speaking.
Okay.
Okay. So, so is this your WooCommerce site?
So it's if you go to the top, you'll see the 6 different stores. So if you hit the first one called Biota Shop, there's no products coming up.
Show
but
us
if you hit like the Zita Gerard Landry Foundation store, you'll see the products coming up.
Show us.
You want me to show that up? Okay.
Yeah, we need you to show us like what's happening, and then we'll log into your backend and then take a look at what's going on.
Okay. Not shop, sorry. This is a different one. Store. Let's see. So, what did I just do? So in here, you see the stores. There's like Biota Shop, Fashion Store. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, these 5 here. So if we hit shop, no items come up, but they're all in the WooCommerce in the back. But if you hit this one here, you'll see the products are coming up. All the products are WooCommerce, but they're not working on every category coming up on the WordPress.
Well, show us your log into your admin and let's see what your configuration is.
I think this is it, but no. Hold on one sec. I just got my password. I had it here, but
You want to we'll move on to the next one, and then you can figure this out, and then we'll come back to
sorry
you.
about that. And just it's because I changed it to a temporary password for somebody, and that's why I forgot.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Okay, and then it's the be able to store it here. It's just this one here. Website.
Yeah, you're gonna want to fix the PHP errors on your site.
But what's FacePRs? What does that mean?
There are errors that come up on the top of your biota.ca site. I think there were some, although I'm not actually.
Revolution slider, probably you're using an older version.
Yeah, if you either update or turn it off if you're not using it anymore.
Revolution flight? Okay.
Yeah, if you have a slider that's out of date or needs to be, or if you're not using it, just turn it off if it's causing errors. Then because that's going to cause your WordPress or your Google ranking to go down when you have errors on your site.
Okay.
All of this stuff here, that should not be happening. And these look like they're all related to Rev Slider.
To Rev Slider, okay. I don't think we're using it anymore on this one. It was probably being used before it got redone, the website.
Okay, but is this your login? Is this your WP admin? Is this your login?
I hit click on it, but it didn't come up. I'm not sure why.
Got a problem with your
usually
site.
I just get in.
Yeah, and there's definitely a problem that's probably going to prevent other things from working as expected.
It's a white screen of death, right?
Actually, I don't know what version you're running. Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, kind of. I mean, you got debug turned on at least, or actually the errors are bad enough that they're going to show up. But the site's kind of like halfway operational, looks like.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I'm getting that even when, I'm getting that. I'm not even getting your site to come up. It's all errors now. Store.biota.ca. You can deactivate this plugin by logging in through FTP or accessing and just rename the Rev Slider folder in your plugins directory. Because I can't. Your site is not loading at all right now.
It's not loading.
Oh,
Okay. It loaded on my iPad, but I'm not sure.
not loading
on the
over.
iPad.
It's not loading.
I got it to load, but it had the first few inch or two above had all the errors first.
No, but I can't get.
The store is not loading.
Yeah, the store.biota.ca is not.
Yeah,
loading.
so I went from the home page and then clicked on the shop, so it brings up store.biota.ca.
Mm-hmm.
Check again, make sure I got the right one.
Yeah, there's biota.ca, and then you go to you can hit shop on there.
Yeah.
We also have a Square. Yeah, we have like shop.biota.ca, but that Square's our WordPress store.biota.ca.
Okay,
so we're just in the process of getting everything.
Well, we gotta eliminate these errors.
So the thing I need to do is I need to. Yeah.
You need to eliminate this error before we can help you.
Okay. So I'll do that. I'll take care of this. And then after that, then we can.
Yeah, can you log into your WP admin, or is it giving an error?
Let me just try it again here. Wait a sec here.
Yeah, a lot of the page is breaking because you've got the errors loading, and it's probably interfering with your full website loading properly. The errors that are being thrown are making WordPress choke on the rendering of the whole site. So it's possible that would affect your shop. Although, I mean, if the other shops are working, there's probably a different error. But you gotta eliminate these errors before we can continue, because if this is causing a side effect, then we could be looking at something and it's totally a red herring. We need to deactivate the rev slider.
Okay. Okay, I'll do that. And then how often do you guys have these meetings?
Once a month.
Once a month?
Third Tuesday of every month. Yeah. Yeah. So what you would do to either you can log into WP admin, but if you can't, you have to access your folder directory and go into the. So here, I'll share my screen. So.
Okay.
This is what your site looks like on my browser. Okay.
Okay.
So you see, I've got these errors, and initially when I loaded it, I didn't even get the site at all. I was getting just the errors. I got like 5 errors, and now for some reason I'm actually getting more of the site, but it's not fully rendering, as you can see. This doesn't look right. The top, and then this doesn't look exactly right. Although I don't know. Maybe you meant it to be like that, with the contrast being set so blue on blue. It's not ideal. But in any case, this folder here, this would be your most likely in one-on-one. I use one-on-one. So there's when you log in through FTP or SFTP or SSH, when you log in, you're going to be popped into probably this folder here at the top. So you'll go into click and builds, Biota store, WP content plugins, and you can rename this rev slider folder. Just put like I don't know, on the number 1. Do you know how to do that? Have you ever done it?
No.
Yeah.
But I can probably figure that out.
Yeah, because if you rename the plugin, then it won't load as part of the operation, and it will. Because right now your WP admin doesn't load at all. Right, so you can't even log in to make changes right now. Right. This is the white screen of death. This is the white screen of death, except the errors are being shown, luckily, so you know what's going on. Normally you don't see anything here. Okay.
Okay. I know the PHP update here. Okay. Okay, so I'll fix those up, and then that might solve the problem, and it might not.
Yeah, if I had to bet, it wouldn't solve the problem, but at least you're going to solve other problems, because you got to be able to log into the WP admin. If you can't log into your dashboard, we can't even look at how your site is configured. So your site is essentially non-functional right now.
Yeah, because I was able to log in before, so I'm surprised. But they did a PHP update today, so I'm wondering if
Yeah,
would
it's
that
possible.
affect it?
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, absolutely. You can
Yeah, because that was done a couple hours ago, so I haven't logged in since.
Are you able to downgrade your PHP, or is it a forced upgrade?
It was 1-in-1 who did the upgrade. So I think it wasn't a forced upgrade. It was just an upgrade they did.
But I think you can change
Because
the
we
version.
had the old version of the PHP.
Yeah, this might be your rev slider may not be compatible with the version of PHP you're using. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we'll go on to the next one.
Okay, perfect.
Ask a design question first, that one.
Yeah, sorry, I see Annie put a chat here.
Sorry.
A few minutes ago. So Annie, go ahead.
Yes, hi there. This is my first time on here, so I'm still looking around and see how everything is working. You are able to help out with some of the WordPress website?
That's what we're here for.
Okay, so I'll write my website in the chat here. I also have an Instagram account. It's for a business.
Okay.
And I hook up some of the products to, like I tag the products on Instagram that I have on my WordPress website. My question is, when I go on, so I'm not sure if you are able to help with this, because it's kind of about Instagram, but it's about the website. When you go onto the Instagram and click on a product that is tagged, and I know that it should be showing the full description of the product.
Your last 10 seconds just cut out. Can you repeat that, please?
Sorry. So when you click on a product that is tagged on Instagram, pointing back to the WordPress website, and then you click on the detail on that product, it doesn't show the actual description of the product. And I don't know where it's pointing to or what. I've been struggling with this for several months and I cannot fix it. And I know that it should be showing the actual details of the product.
On your WordPress site. Is that right?
Yeah, so it's, yeah, that's right. So it's connected, like the Instagram is connected with the WordPress website.
Well, connected, the only way I could imagine to be connected is there's a link on your Instagram somewhere that points to the WordPress site, right?
Yeah, so Instagram, like it's called tagging. I don't know if you're familiar with that. So you tag an actual product that's on a post on Instagram. And then once you click on that tag, it shows that product that is on the picture, on the photo. And it shows like all the details, the price and the description. But for me, it doesn't show the description. It doesn't point to the WordPress properly. And I know that it should, because I've seen lots of other stores with their proper descriptions showing up there, but mine doesn't for some reason.
So the description you expect it to show on your site, or do you expect it to show on Instagram? Maybe you should take us through a video of what you expect people to see, and then we can understand where you're missing information. Could you share your screen and take us through it?
Oh, okay. So I'm on my computer, so I'm not sure how.
Yeah, you can just click the share screen button underneath of the video of everyone. There's a little green share screen button.
Share screen. Okay, so let me just see if I even have it up on my computer here. Just 1 second. because I'm not even sure if it will work from here or if it only works on the phone. Let me just double check.
I mean, you would want it to work on both, wouldn't you?
Well, it doesn't, for Instagram, it doesn't work the same way as everything else.
Share your phone too, if you want to.
Okay, so I think I have to sign in then on my phone.
Because I'm trying to understand where this description you expect it to show. That's what I don't understand. Is it on Instagram or is it on your website that you expect this description to show?
So it's supposed to point to the WordPress website. So it's actually supposed to be taking the information from the WordPress website and then showing it on the Instagram.
Here I am on your Instagram page.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not signed in right now. This is like I'm a non-logged in user.
Mm-hmm.
I found, so right here, there's a link to your website right here in your profile.
In the profile, yes, but if you click, so see, I think it only works on the phone.
Okay.
Yeah, it only works on the phone because I'm clicking on it on the computer and it doesn't work the same way. But if you are on a phone and you click on the second last post that I have on there, which is 2 rings side by side with the yellow flowers in the back. If you tap on it on your phone, on the computer, it doesn't work the same.
Okay.
But on the phone, if you tap on it, it shows, it says view products. And then the name of that product pops up and you can click on that. And then it shows the name of the product and the price. And then under, it says also view on website, but under there, it says description. And if you click on a description in that area, it should show the same description that I have on the WordPress.
So they're connecting the two together. Okay.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
All right. Well,
so I have it connected, like I have it connected properly because otherwise it wouldn't show up at all. But it's just not, it's not taking that information from the description.
How does this description from the website go into Instagram? That's what I don't understand. How does it flow into it?
Sorry, from the website to Instagram.
Yeah.
It's the way it's connected. Like I've seen this many times on many other stores too.
Do you have something installed in your WordPress site that allows this to occur?
I believe it's like it's a business. It's a business account on Instagram, and I think that's in the settings. In the settings, shopping settings, website, like there's a way to connect it.
Really? Okay. And then Instagram.
Yeah.
Instagram brings this information. Is anyone familiar with this Instagram WordPress integration?
Yeah. So so let me just see if I have anything on.
Generally, there's some kind of a plugin.
Possibly, although Instagram may be just sucking information from the website automatically. They may not be, right? There might be some kind of advanced feature of Instagram. It's possible.
If it was sucking it without a plugin, it would have to have some sort of connection to the WordPress API, though.
No, it could just parse the website. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. So
it has Instagram on her menu and it goes straight there. So it must be from Instagram back to the WordPress is where she's having the problem.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So this is the same website that Cindy's product linked to. So you have a jewelry site here that you basically this is your site.
Yes.
It's not a vendor. Okay.
Yeah, Cindy and I are friends, and I make some jewelry for her as well.
Yeah, your sites are beautiful. They look great. I think you have a linking problem through Instagram. It's probably going to be minor, but I don't work with Instagram. I don't think it doesn't seem like it's going to be major.
I have one site that works with Instagram. Instagram did an API change about 3 months ago, So unless she's updated her site in the last, 3 or 4 months, that could be part of the issues that.
I never had it actually showing up. Even months ago, I never understood it because all these other stores have it hooked up and their description, their details show up properly, just like on their website. Like it actually takes the proper information from there. But for me, it never did that.
This is actually a feature of the business version of Instagram, yeah?
It could be, yes. I don't think it does that for personal accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So these pictures on Instagram, are they own WordPress also?
The pictures themselves?
Yes.
Some of them, the pictures that I posted on Instagram.
Okay.
And then from there, I tag the product, which integrates from my WordPress website.
Okay, so I'm looking at the setup guide for Instagram shopping, and one of the things. So I'm just kind of sort of on the fly trying to understand this feature. So this is on the Instagram business support page. Okay, it's a setup guide, how to open a shop on Instagram. So you must have gone through eligibility and everything.
Yes, I did.
Converted to a business or creator account. Looks like you get to connect to a Facebook.
Like I've had it hooked up for, like I said, for a long time. It's just this part has never worked.
Right, but here's a key point, step 4.
Okay.
Upload product catalog. So the product catalog is something that you do here or e-commerce platform partner like Shopify. So you have to upload this data into Instagram. It doesn't just magically appear from your WordPress site. You have to inform Instagram somehow.
Alex, I think she's using something else. I think she's using the WooCommerce to Instagram.
Okay.
Yes, I do have WooCommerce.
And then when you install the Instagram plugin, WooCommerce Instagram plugin, then on each product, you have a field to add the hashtag. So for example, if you have, let's say on your store, ring 1, and then you go to Instagram and you hashtag that image ring 1, and then it will take the product info from your WooCommerce shop and put it into Instagram. I think what the issue is now is that it's taking the image and the title, but not the description, right?
Yes, sort of. The actual image I upload onto Instagram.
But when you click on an image and then you click on the tag on the image, the little bag icon, right?
Yes.
And then it'll say in this photo.
So that part, like when you, so there's something called shop within Instagram, but
and it says view products.
Yeah, so hold on one second. Sorry, I'm just trying to.
Are you paying for the?
Sorry, you're cutting out. I didn't hear you.
Are you paying for the Instagram extension for WooCommerce, the Instagram WooCommerce plugin?
I think it's a free product.
Am I paying for Instagram? Sorry.
No, it's not. It's not free. $79 a year.
Yeah, no, there's no payment for it.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the WooCommerce Instagram plugin, which loads your catalog. It's a commercial plugin. I would be surprised.
Sorry.
I would be surprised that there's a free plugin that does automatic integration with shopping. Like my experience is that plugins that are free that enable e-commerce usually don't work. It's almost like a purposeful bait and switch, because if you think about it, like a plugin that enables e-commerce, especially the kind that's automatic between social platforms, you kind of expect to pay for it, don't you? Because you're expecting to make money off it. So I don't know what Instagram WooCommerce plugin you're using. And I only found one called WooCommerce.
The way I have it, Like the way I have it set up right now, like what you see, I don't pay anything for that.
So can you log into your admin site, your dashboard, so we can take a look at what you got installed and share your screen?
Sorry, admin dashboard.
Yep.
Okay.
On your WordPress site. So we can see what exactly you've got installed.
So share screen. Okay, so what do I do? Sorry, I've never shared a screen before. Desktop.
There's a green
whiteboard.
share
what
screen button
here?
under our logos or under our
okay.
Under our videos, and then you can just share screen and select the screen, and then I only see one Instagram plugin for WooCommerce. It's the WooCommerce Instagram plugin at $79 so, on the extension store. So.
Oh, Google Chrome dash. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me see if this works.
Yeah, we can see it.
Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess I have to update. This is just now recent.
Yeah, it's a brand new version. So we'll go under WooCommerce and let's just see your extensions under WooCommerce. You see where it says extensions on the left side under status.
Oh, this. Sorry. Okay. I think my computer's slow right now, or my internet.
Okay, so this would be well, this is oh, these are all okay. Where are your extensions? No, these are all. So if you type Instagram here, so if you type Instagram into the search term, this will show you all the extensions that WooCommerce has. Are you selling your products through WooCommerce on your site?
Yes.
Nah. So type in Instagram under enter a search term and press enter.
I think if you go to settings, you might see it there.
I was just gonna have her search it so she can see if it's already installed here or not. But okay.
Yeah, it's
integration. I think it's in here.
Yeah, integration.
Okay, so.
No. Yeah. Go ahead and go back to extensions and search for Instagram.
Where's the search? I didn't see it on that page.
Generally, if it's a WooCommerce plugin, it'll be listed under the plugins.
You don't see the search? Enter a search term and press enter.
Oh, there. Oh, sorry. Sorry, what am I looking for here?
Instagram.
Oh, Instagram. Okay.
Did you hit search?
Yeah.
It lags.
It's my internet. That's really...
No, it's not your internet.
It's
your
lag
it's your WordPress website. It's not your internet.
If you look, Mike, if you look in the bottom left corner, you can see waiting for. It's just a lag.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's so slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says waiting for.
Well, scroll down. Yeah.
It's on HostGator.
Okay, that's why.
Yeah.
So
is that why it's slow?
Yeah, you're gonna want to upgrade. If you have an e-commerce site and the performance is like this, you can forget about making any sales. Like it's just.
Yeah, I noticed the product page loaded slow for both you and Cindy.
Mm-hmm.
So scroll down a bit.
Yeah, that's another issue. I would love to know why.
Yeah, we'll scroll down. We'll talk about that. So you see where it says Instagram right there. The very first one. Connect your store with Instagram right there. That first.
Oh, this one here.
Yeah, click on that. So that is the connectivity between your website and Instagram. This is how you make your catalog. You can't automatically load the catalog with Instagram without this extension.
Oh, really?
Really.
Okay.
Not everything is
That's-
free
I've
on the
never-
internet. To make money, you have to
Yeah,
spend.
I've never seen that before.
So Alex, that's to do it automatically, right? She can probably do it manually. But
Of course.
doesn't
You can
2000
manually update the cataloging. That's the thing I was showing you on the Instagram site. You can manually copy and paste the catalog manually, right? But when you think about this for a second, you have two separate databases: Instagram pictures and catalogs and all that, and you have your WordPress database of WooCommerce. In order for these things to communicate to each other in real time, you need a bridge of some sort. This is that bridge. It costs $79. If you don't want a bridge and you don't want to pay $79, you can do the work manually, and you just copy and paste the content, go to your Instagram manager and populate them one by hand.
Yeah. Hey, so Alex, doesn't 2000 installs seems a little low for a WooCommerce Instagram plugin?
No, because most people do what she's doing completely in Shopify now in WordPress.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's because most of the people don't. Well, 2000 times 79 is pretty good, right?
Oh no, it's good money. I just figure Woo's a big in Instagram, but you're right, they're on other platforms too.
Yeah, they're just.
And it's probably only in the last year or so that they really even have that plugin.
Yeah, that's true, right? This might be actually quite new, right? Too. I don't know how old this is, but there might be other ones too. There might be some free ones. I don't know, but this connectivity is fairly advanced. You got two systems talking to each other, and when you add a new product in your WooCommerce database, Instagram has to wake up and say, "Oh, and he has a new product. Let's load that in automatically," so that it's like set it and forget it, right? But the automation requires some kind of code to happen. This is that code.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just trying to understand it because it is hooked up as of right now. It's not
hooked up.
It's not taking the details.
It's not automated. It's hooked up nominally by having a link off your site. That's all it's hooked up. But the data is not flowing between the two systems. It's
like as soon as I post a new product and then a new photo in Instagram, I can go and tag it then.
Yeah, that's fine. But the tagging is simply a link back to your site. The data into Instagram won't flow automatically.
I see.
You said that you want the description to show up automatically in Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That data has to be, think about it. How does that data go into Instagram from your WordPress site? Like how? Mm-hmm. How would it populate?
Okay.
It doesn't do it automatically. It definitely doesn't do it automatically. Because this is back to our landing page discussion. You're using Instagram as a huge set of landing pages. Each one of your products is a landing page with a beautiful picture and a built-in audience of people looking for rings on Instagram. So that's what's cool about it, right? People don't need to go to your website. They go to Instagram, much like Facebook. You have this built-in customer audience. You just have to find them, right? So when they're scrolling through their feed or you're advertising on Instagram, whatever you're doing, your stuff comes up and then people click on it and it's an instant, it's like an ad back to your website. Now, the better that ad is, the more people click through your website. Mm-hmm. So this product enables the data to flow automatically from your site into the Instagram ad database, which is your pictures of your rings.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right? And so you have to pay for that. That's not something that's going to happen for free. That's just, there might be other add-ons out there that do it for free, but this is clearly the only WooCommerce Instagram plugin to do what you're doing. I couldn't find any others on their extension store. So.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, that's one of.
Just another quick point.
Oh, does anybody have any other feedback on this? This is just my opinion on this, but is there any other feedback on the Instagram WooCommerce integration?
I think you're right. And this $79 one is a WooCommerce plugin. So it's, you're dealing with people working that code. It's only going to improve. Mm-hmm. And for $79, it'll do it automatically rather than you do it. I think it's probably the cheapest, best way to go. But I do want to add one more thing. Is like on your loading, you have a lot of images. Are they optimized? Whoever did this, do they compress all those images? Your loading speed probably has more to do with the hosting service, but do you know what optimizing images means?
I think I tried that before. I don't know, and I'm the one that built it all. I do everything myself, and I didn't know, and I don't know really much about them.
There's plugins that will compress your images down so they're not really bloated, and so they'll load faster. You have a little bit of a loading problem. It's not horrible, but it is a little slow. You know, you might talk to.
But does that not also decrease the quality of the photo?
Well, the thing is the human eye can only see so much. So usually they compress it down to the point that most people on their websites, they're not going to see any difference in the quality. Now, there may be some piece of art or something that's really important to you. If you expand it for what you're doing in e-commerce, your loading speeds is pretty important. If they bog down too much, like we're while waiting, they won't hang around.
Let me show you something here.
Like on the homepage, do you think, or in the shop?
Well, you very much on your website. Well, both. I don't know about Instagram so much. I think Instagram probably optimizes them anyway for you. But on your homepage, your website, and your WooCommerce stuff, you definitely want those compressed, and you won't notice a difference in quality, generally speaking. But you know, if you take a photo from your phone, it's got 3-4 megabytes, right? It's huge, and you only need a few hundred K, and you'll get the same. Essentially, it'll still be a really pretty picture. You don't need all that extra weight to load.
Yeah.
So
I think I have been uploading them. I'm pretty sure I will double check, but I think I have been uploading them about 200K or 300.
They look pretty optimized from what I've checked.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, they're around 80, 100. Even the top images, the slider, are 120, which is good.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I think I've been uploading it that way.
So up until earlier this year, like literally a month ago, I've been poo-pooing like page speed insights and analysis of page speeds with GTmetrix and all these analysis tools until Google announced that they're going to start introducing rewards for people whose websites load fast. And I'm running your site right now through Page Speed Insights, which is developers.google.com/speed/page speed. All you have to do is you just put in your URL and click analyze. And we're going to get a score here in a second.
Yeah, I've done that before too. And I mean, I'm not a developer. Like I said, I learned this all by myself.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes I do get stuck and I don't really know how to.
And I have some bad news for you. This is the worst score I've ever seen any website I've analyzed through here.
Great.
You have a 3 out of 100. This is really bad.
3 out of 100?
Yes.
Wow.
On the mobile version. On the desktop version, it's 11 out of 100. Also really bad. Yeah. Really bad.
But what could be the reason?
Well, there's a lot of problems here. There's not just one reason. There's a lot. Let's start with the desktop. So let's talk a little bit about what this is. And I encourage everybody to actually start doing this. And by the way, I wouldn't focus on pictures until you had really address some of these other issues. There's some serious speed issues here. Pictures could be one part of it, but it may not be the only part. In fact, it may not be the biggest part that is causing this issue. So right now, this site is performing so badly that it's possible that it would be deranked by Google eventually as a poorly performing site, meaning that even though you may match search results, it may push your site down because it's performing badly. And that's the only way they can get people to get their sites to work better, because the only way, it seems, is to basically have Google reward fast performing site and not reward.
And it's very true. Like I know that I'm not getting the views. I know that.
Well, I mean, again, you have great products. They're beautiful. You've got great pictures. You've got a lot. But this is something that's over the next probably 2 or 3 years is going to be a big deal. Just like SSL certificates were a few years ago when Google said, "Hey, if you're not secure, we're gonna say bad things about your site." We're just basically, it's not they're gonna like flag you and say, "Oh, your site's horrible." They're just not going to reward you for good speed. And by the way, even the largest sites on the internet have very poor page speed. New York Times is like a 60, I think. So this is not an easy thing to solve. Thing is the first thing I found to make this problem go away is to use a really good theme in WordPress. Now, I don't know which theme you're using, but themes I found by themselves can cause incredible bloat on your website. And by default, without you doing anything, the first time you put some pictures in, or just use the theme, whatever theme you use, you probably didn't write the theme yourself, right?
No, I didn't.
So whatever theme you're using, you inherit all of its bloat, even before you put any pictures in.
Okay.
Right? So the guiding factors here is that from what I remember,
I'm using Agama, Agama.
Okay. Well, that may not be
the pro version of that.
Oh, a pro version, yeah. Okay. You might want to check with them and say, hey, like, you have an update, and why is my site? If you have a pro version, you have support, and ask them why you're getting such poor response. By the way, this has nothing to do with my internet access. This is Google view of your site, meaning that Google, when they index your website through their servers, which are probably some of the fastest servers on the planet, this is what they perceive your site as being loaded, a technical representation. It's not necessarily your site doesn't get that much traffic, so they don't even actually have any real world speed data. But your site is being indexed and analyzed by Google all the time. Everybody's site is. Everybody's public site is being analyzed. Yes. And so what this this is an important one, FCP, timed interactive, and CLS, these three. What is first contextful thing? What this means is, see these little thumbnails here? This is how your site looks like to Google as it loads. It loads your header, a little bit of more of your site, and then finally your picture here. You see this picture, how late it loaded? It loaded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 10th sort of iteration of your site loaded your picture. That's not good. That's a first contentful paint. It's 2 seconds in. It means people don't see anything on your site until 2 seconds after the site starts loading. This needs to be less than
that's very slow.
Less than half a second, right? The speed index is an overall index. I'm not sure how they calculate it, but this is obviously really bad. Everything in red here means it's really bad. Largest contentful fade is almost 5.5 seconds. Cumulative layer shift should be less than 0.1. Timed interactive means like if you have like a button or something, you can put in some text or field of some sort in a form, that should be less than 2.5 seconds. Very, very poor performance, very poor. And when I say that, by the way, I don't mean like I'm being very generous. This is the worst I've ever seen.
Okay.
I usually see between 50 and 80.
I just wish I knew how to fix it. That's the only
Well,
thing.
okay,
I think
so
I've checked this before too. Like I've seen this, I've done this test before and I've seen it, but
well,
like,
look at what the opportunity is. So opportunity, and you're right, this is a technical thing, but the opportunity is you have CSS that's half a second in savings. And the reason why is that your theme probably has an enormous style sheet and not all of it is being used. And same thing for JavaScript. So according to this, you could save a second just by removing this. But what does that mean? How do you know what's unused? There's no way to know. Your theme is no good. That's basically how I read this. The theme that you've inherited is simply not a good theme. It may look nice to you, it doesn't perform very well.
Okay.
Simple as that. And by the way, the properly sized images is a factor, right? And they tell you here are your images, but they're all very small to begin with. So that's a red herring. I wouldn't at all focus on your images. Maybe less on the home page or less per page, but they're tiny. They're actually quite good. You've done actually a really good job already. Right?
I have a quick question. What do you do in this kind of scenario?
Switch themes.
Okay.
That's my like off the top of my head answer. I have just horrible themes. Let me show you now. This is one of our sites that we were developing, and it's using the 2019 theme. It's this website looks horrible. I mean, it's the simplest site you can possibly imagine because there's almost nothing there. Small amount of graphics. After you looked at it, it's very simple. But I did it on purpose because I wanted to see, like, even if I developed literally with one of the out of the box themes, the theme from WordPress themselves, the one they ship with the product, that's really simple. What kind of speed do I get with that, right? And that's not even a commercial theme. It's just an out of the box theme. And I even on mobile, I get a 67, and on desktop, I get a 95. Now this site is really small, but you can see that at least it loads in the third frame, most of the fourth frame, it loads a good amount of the graphics. So here, the first contentful thing is still 1.1 seconds. But, and I've also noticed that almost universally, the mobile versions of themes are poorly designed across the board. And Google is extremely rough on almost every site from a mobile perspective, because simply the themes were not mobile first design. They were never mobile first. Mobile was an addition afterwards to themes, and the best themes are designed with mobile first in mind. The best themes, and those are almost always commercial themes, almost always, meaning that you're paying for them. So your theme is the culprit here in my mind.
Let me ask a quick question. I asked about images because I see it so often, bloated images, but they look pretty good. Is she using a page builder on top of this theme? Because page builders can add bloat too. Are you using Elementor or Beaver Builder?
Yeah, I have built Beaver Builder on here. Yeah.
Okay, that's more code, more of what Alex is talking about.
Shouldn't be that slow. Beaver Builder's not that slow.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the same thing on GT Metrics under the waterfall, and it's showing that time, like the first byte, her server response is 3.2 seconds before she even gets anything back from the server. And also, I'm looking, I see Bootstrap in here, and both times it's listed, it's got a canceled byte instead of a server response. So whatever is happening with the theme that's pulling the Bootstrap, it's just not responding.
You know, what's interesting is that this PageSpeed Insight never talks about hosting ever. It's quite interesting. It almost makes hosting a non-issue, even though it definitely could be an issue. So like you could try, you could experiment, you could go to like a WP Engine or Flywheel or a commercial host, have them move over your site as a copy, and before you buy it, say I want to test on my site, copy of my site on yours, and see if I get better performance. You should. I mean, I don't know how much better, but it should be better, right? And that would be, you don't have to change anything to your site. You can keep everything using as is. You just simply switch hosts, and primarily hosts that cost less than $10 a month. You can pretty much assume that they're crap.
So GT Metrics says that they've got a metric called the largest content paint, which happens to be either whether it's a hero image or a big heading. They're saying it's 8.2 seconds for that. So
LCP on mobile says it's 20 seconds.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that's her slider, or whatever.
Yep.
I'll make a quick comment here that if you do change themes, a lot of these newer themes, these block-based themes, are incorporating more of the WordPress core functionality in it. I think WP 2021, not the one out, but the beta is going to be block-based. And I think GoDaddy's got Go, and Astra's kind of a lightweight. There's a bunch out there. But when you move to themes, I think you want to move to the newer WordPress core functionality. It'll help you a lot down the road.
GeneratePress has a whole lot of new block stuff.
I was just going to
really
mention,
fast. It's really fast.
I was just going to mention them. And Dan, I think is a good. Dan, I think you could say Generate. So GeneratePress is, my experience, is one of the. I mean, these things are not only beautiful, they're very fast. And if you read a lot about them, you'll read that they do this on purpose because they don't really want a fancy schmancy theme. They want a fast theme, right?
Sorry, what is it again? What's the name?
GeneratePress. I'm sharing my screen.
Generate.
Now it's interesting. Like, by the way, all you can share. Yeah, I'm not gonna test your site here in the public because I don't want to embarrass you, because it's embarrassing how bad some of your sites are. I promise you, they're really bad. I don't even have to look even. But I'll share the link where you can do this yourself, right? This is good. There's a lot of them. There's GT Metrics. See, Gary's getting 100%. Gary, I'll show your site. So what's your site, Gary? On GT Metrics? Okay, Expression Dental, cool. Let's take a look what it's like on PageSpeed Insight. Just curious. Should be really good. All right, so that's extraordinary that you're getting 100% on GT Metrics. That's like, did you do anything to make that happen, Gary? Or is that just an accident?
Well, I've been struggling quite a bit with PageSpeed since the last bloody 2 years. And I've been giving my work to third-party companies to bloody hell fix the stuff on my sites and, to get things going and all that. about 3 months ago, I kind of got fed up. And I'm like, you know what? I know this stuff. I don't have the time, but let me do it. So I changed so much on the site that is not even funny. Yes, I bought a paid theme to begin with. Moved all the content over. I have a couple of things which I'm using. Number one, I'm using what you call Elementor for everything. And then lately what I discovered was a CDN. I knew CDNs work very well, but only if you can configure them right. Most of these CDNs are such that they'll drive you crazy, and they will not work well with your other plugins. Guess what? I found a plugin which works absolutely excellent. Right now, I'm using the free version of it.
Are you a dentist? Are you a dentist, Gary?
Well, I am not the dentist. My wife is the dentist. I'm the operations manager.
She's lucky to have you. She's lucky to have you.
So I do everything else: marketing, advertising, website development, blah blah blah. You know.
Good stuff.
So having said that, this plugin is known as NitroPack. And the plugin website is nitropack.io, and it works well with what you call your WordPress. Just download the free version of it, install it. I swear to God, I was sitting at a 60-70, and within 2 hours, I was going 100% on GT metrics.
Yeah, that's a bit of a, it's called MicroPack.
Can you please share it on the chat, the name?
I'm just looking it up.
Oh, perfect. Thanks.
Is that the plugin name, MicroPack?
No, it's Nitro.
NitroPack.
Nitroglycerin. Boom.
Yeah, nitroglycerin.
I would be careful about these plugins that automatically do this. Although I guess it's possible, but
it's a very popular plugin.
I bet it is.
I'm looking at it. It's
I'm getting an error on GT metrics on this site.
Yeah.
You will get it because you have to use the legacy version of the search. You have to enable legacy on it.
Okay, there's something I don't like about GT metrics. When they convert it to the new one, you don't get the same score. On one site, I was getting A's, and now I'm down to an E.
I would avoid GT metrics like the plague. You have to remember, these companies are in business, right? So they're trying to manipulate, for some reason, these scores. I think the Google one is the only one for now I trust. There might be other ones, but the thing is, what do you care about? You don't really care about what GT metrics thinks. You care about what Google thinks and Bing, right? You care about what these search engines are doing in order to either prioritize or deprioritize your search results. That's all. Now, a few years ago, nobody cared about space because Google didn't say anything. They weren't going to do anything with this. They didn't care how fast your site runs, but now it's especially on mobile, makes a difference.
So what's the solution? What can we do?
Well, NitroPack sounds like one of these Band-Aids where you can just plug it in. There's probably a few others like this.
What do you recommend?
It looks like it does CDN, it does image optimization, cache warm-up. It does a bunch of stuff, which altogether probably speeds up page speed. And in fact, it's very much, you have on desktop, you have a 99 on page speed in bytes. It's very impressive. And on mobile, you have a 81, which is also quite good. Like that's actually quite good to get. Okay. So that's pretty sweet.
I'm getting a 90. I am getting a 90 for mobile on my end. So
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, your site is responding differently every time it's being hit because the LCP is 3.1 seconds. So this time it loaded. By the way, interestingly enough, when I load your website on my, actually as a visitor, and I already loaded it, so part of it is cached. I want you to see the behavior of your site. It's interesting that it actually loads in pieces and it's quite slow, I might add. Like this content is loading in pieces. You see how it's kind of like all filling in? But I think that's good for page speed in the sense that it's progressively loading as opposed to I'm expecting the whole thing to load. You've got a lot of content here too. And so you have a lot of stuff, but technically whatever it is you're running on your site essentially convinces page speed that it's running fast. And that's for now that's probably all that's important, right? So this is a
So
this is
what was happening before was that actually videos and those type of things which I have right on my site, etc. In the images I had very high resolution images. As for the video, what I did, Elementor actually lets you do it as well. Is just take a snapshot of it, and if you look at the top video just below that on the front page itself, if you scroll down a little bit, I added an image actually, and if somebody wants to play that image, that video, they actually click on it and it plays in the same frame. So what essentially is it loading? It is not loading the video by itself from YouTube. It's loading the image to start with, which is a low quality image, and people don't notice the difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
So did you have to do that manually, or did the NitroPack do it?
No, I had to do it manually.
Okay, but you think that I mean, that's ridiculous that YouTube's embed would slow down your site, but yes, it's possible. It's a JavaScript embed, so yes, it's possible it would slow it down. Sure, it would block the page load. Absolutely, there's a lot of weird technical stuff like this, but I think people like Annie and a lot of people really are looking for a cure-all, meaning that they don't really have the time to technically tweak every little piece of the site to get a better score. So Annie, if I were you, I would try NitroPack. It looks like a free plugin. Install it, and then run page speed again before and after, and see what happens to your site.
So just install the NitroPack. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, there's something I would like to ask Alex. I mean, a lot of these providers, these servers, are providing you CDNs in their WordPress optimized. And so when you start doing stuff like this, and NitroPack, that sounds pretty amazing, and it's probably a solution for some. But if it can be handled in your hosting service, and they're using like server-side caching optimization, that's going to help a lot with your speed, and you have people that will maintain it.
Yes, I agree. I use a host called MDD Hosting. Very small host. They have very good service and server speed, and they recommend for their particular server page speed. Light speed cache, which also has CDN, and I used it on several sites now, and I've seen dramatic improvements. But their hosting is optimized just for this particular plugin, meaning that they say if you are going to install a cache plugin in your WordPress, only use Lightspeed cache. That's what they say. They say don't use anything else, we'll deactivate it. They say do not use anything else, we will deactivate your plugin. So your host, you can ask them and say, hey, is there a caching CDN plugin we should use? And if they tell you you can use whatever you want, it means they're not doing anything. But if they say no, we got CDN, we got a specific plugin. So some hosts go to the trouble of optimizing WordPress and specifying what is the best cache. So this Lightspeed cache, I'll share this is another one of these all-in-one plugin. I see somebody shared. Oh, hey, yeah. See, Dan says use NitroPack with a grain of salt. I kind of also agree. It sounds like kind of too good to be true, but hey, who knows? Maybe it's amazing. And it looks like Dan, you shared a link here.
Yeah, it kind of tells you how Nitro is a bit fooling the search guys, the search speed engines.
Yeah.
And you might get a backfire from Google from this.
Yeah.
Like down the road, they might shut off their service, but your site will, like, you'll have to remove their plugin.
Yeah, the other thing with these speed up things, they also have a page view limit. Like right now, the Nitro one is up to 5,000 pages per month.
Right.
And then you got to pay the next bracket, etc.
That's actually their business model, right? So they kind of, as your site gets more traffic and you want to keep your good score, they got you, right? Well, but that's, I mean, listen.
No, it's notable, yeah. You get what you pay for, like you keep saying, right?
You get what you pay. And it says here, if you get 1 million page views, it's $130 a month.
Yeah.
Per site. So what they're saying is for $130 a month, you can get a virtual private server that will handle 2 to 3 million pages without NitroPack. I would totally agree with that. Meaning that if you're going to spend $130 for a plugin, you just get an amazing site host.
Yeah, go with Kinston.
I mean, come on, you go $130 a month. Are you kidding? Yeah, you can get a really nice host, really nice. You don't need, you can, for $30 a month, you can get probably a much better host, and that will be a good thing.
Yeah, and that host is going to have their own optimization stuff on their
Lightspeed
server.
cache, I've seen, yeah, if you have very low hosting, most of us will have very small hosting, and it won't matter. So NitroPack kind of does the band-aid for what you need. The thing about it though is if it does something funky that is not, is not legitimate, and Google finds out, they'll just instantly derank your site. Meaning that if they're doing something that is actually kind of some kind of workaround, I don't know if they found some hack to full page speed or GT metrics, and then they change their algorithm, then you won't even know, because you won't. Yeah, MDD hosting is a tiny host, but they have the best. I mean, we had a client that moved to their site, and their site sped up like that overnight. We didn't do anything, but they do use Lightspeed cache. So Lightspeed is their they have a CDN, they have a free CDN service. They're a legitimate, proper caching system, and they do have a commercial version as well. And they have excellent support. It's been installed by millions of people. It's really good.
And for speed, correct? For speed of the web page.
Sorry, what was that?
To speed up the page or no?
It's a caching system for WordPress.
Okay.
Yeah, so they have a CDN. They speed up WooCommerce. They speed up various plugins. But interestingly enough, certain hosts like MDD and other hosts, they tune their site system specifically for Lightspeed cache, meaning they've optimized it for one caching plugin. So they've spent some time to basically say, look, we run best with this plugin. It's not just you can load any plugin you want for caching, but this particular host used that, which is interesting.
Really speed up these slower hostings, but I think you have to have it has to be Apache or certain. It won't work on all of them. Right?
They work on Lightspeed. There's a Lightspeed server. There is actually a server called Lightspeed Web Server. Right. Apache, Nginx. They do work with a lot of them, but like I said, the best performance is when your host is optimized for this plugin.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of this stuff. Now, will you get an instantly high score? No. You're gonna get 100. You're not gonna get what expressionsdental.ca got. I don't think you're gonna get that. You're gonna get much higher than you did before. So it's worth it. So this is a very open question. And honestly, I hope that WordPress themes with a Gutenberg block become light enough to where they perform, and you don't have to get all these custom themes that perform badly. There's going to be a huge change, I think, in the WordPress community away from these bloated themes towards Gutenberg block themes in the next few years. I'm pretty positive, especially if 2021 supports Gutenberg blocks. And I know GeneratePress is building a theme that's completely built in Gutenberg blocks. So it's called GP. I just read about it today. They're in alpha testing on it. GP Theme Builder, it's called. So GeneratePress will allow you to build themes using a theme builder, so that you can build your own theme using Gutenberg blocks. So that means no page builder. You build your own theme off their themes, and you use Gutenberg blocks. And so I would imagine that those are going to perform. I mean, I hope that those are going to perform much better than these other themes. And this is the thing: when you see a theme and you like it, you use it, that's only half the puzzle. You want to make sure it performs well on mobile, and that's the other half. So.
Hey everyone, my name's Kevin, and sorry coming on a little bit late, but I was just hearing all of your fantastic advice for most of the problems that people have brought up, and that's fantastic. And I tried messaging the meetup comment group, and I wasn't able to send in the message because it asked for a character limit of 20 characters. So I'm like, okay. So anyhow, but I just had one question in regards to a plugin not working effectively on the front end of my site. I don't know if we can have a quick peek of that.
Yeah, let's take a look at it.
Okay, thank you. So I can screen share if you like me to.
Yeah.
It's better. Okay. Okay, great. So I'll just quickly do that right now. 1 second. As soon as I should share now. There we go. this is the website. This is meant to be strictly a portfolio piece. You can see right off the bat that the services in the testimonial section is having an issue with the WP_resume error. So what I've done is I've logged into my FTP. I'm just gonna like basically make this easier for me on the tabs to pull it up. So I'm logged in. This is my back end of the page, and this is my file directory here. So this is the WP resume section, and you can see it has a file for CSS, the license, the screenshots and stuff. And I'm just trying to see exactly what's wrong with the template because it's not appearing to populate these sections.
Your plugin shortcode is totally not rendering, right?
Yeah, it's not rendering. It's
Is
been
the
a long.
plugin activated?
Yes, I believe so.
Let's take a look. That's the
My
first thing to check.
directory. It's in my back end of the WordPress site too. Plugins. You know what's funny too is when I originally had this done, one of the developers I was working with said, make sure you don't update WordPress because you're going to face a lot of configuration challenges for it to be up to the most recent version. So I thought, okay, well that's interesting, and I tried to hold back on that, but aside from that, it looks like it's not been to my advantage to hold back. So not sure what is going on, but I don't know if I can just re-upload.
Well, what's the name of the plugin? WP Resume?
Yeah, it's a custom plugin that was developed by a developer for that section, for uploading the sections of the page. Like there is text boxes that upload to those sections.
Okay, but where's the plugin? Sorry, Kevin. Where's the plugin in your plugins list? No, in your plugins list.
In the dashboard.
Yeah.
In your dashboard.
So just trying to figure. It looks like I'll have to re-upload it again because
is it here at all?
What I can do is I can just try manually upload. I'm gonna add a new one. I'll just try and add it in again, and we'll see what we can do.
So it's not here. Is it under inactive?
I think it's inactive or it's not there, and I have to re-upload it again because I had.
Okay, so change. Okay, before you do that, change the folder name in your control panel. Okay. Don't upload it yet.
Okay.
Change the folder name so that it's not active altogether. So change WP Resume folder name on the left side there. Change the name and just put like a 1 or something like that.
Okay, I'll just rename it if I can. Let's see.
It's good you have access to your control panel.
Yeah, this is through iPage, so I'm just trying to see if I can rename it. That will.
Try going up one level in the main screen.
Okay.
Click the plugins folder.
That's plugins. And
then go to the right.
So, go back to the plugin folder on the left.
Okay. I'm there.
On the right side. Now try and change its name on the right side.
Okay, there we go. Let's.
Nope. Yeah, click on it and then check the icons at the top there. Nope, don't right click anything on this page. It doesn't work. See the icons at the top? Let's see if there's a rename at the top there.
Let's see. Move, archive.
What's it?
Copy. New directory. Refresh. Upload files. New file.
I love it. They don't allow you to rename your own folders on purpose, of course.
But I do have one saved version on my desktop. So.
Saved version of what?
Of the WP-resume plugin.
That's not what we need. We need to deactivate this so when you upload it doesn't crash.
Yeah.
Delete it if you want.
I don't think I can rename it. That's kind of funny how I can't do that.
Yeah, it's not funny at all, actually. It's not funny because your iPage has purposefully removed rename capability for your folders.
What is that on the right-hand side? It says actions. That column. What happens if you click on that little?
Yeah, a little magnifying glass.
Yeah.
So right, okay. I think I pressed that before. All it does is do a search.
Oh, yeah, that's no
preview.
good.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and upload your, obviously we can't change it. So go ahead and upload your
So,
plugin, see what happens.
okay, so let's see.
It's not active on your site. Right? Is it under the inactive folder on your dashboard?
Dashboard.
Go under install plugins.
Install plugins. I checked there and I don't see it there.
Yeah, under inactive, it doesn't list.
There's, okay, hold on, inactive. There we go.
No, go up a bit. Go up a bit. Go up a bit.
So it's not okay, it's not showing me it's inactive either.
Yeah. So scroll down a bit. Yeah. Okay. So you don't keep going. Yeah. Okay. So there's no.
It's not there.
There's no. Okay. All right. Well, go ahead and add it. Let's see what happens.
So let's see what happens. So add new. So plugin. So let's go to the desktop here. I think
Where are you hosting this? Boy, your response time is really fast.
Yeah, you gotta be quick and so let's see if
iPage, right?
iPage, yeah. Let's see, it's not showing me the actual.
The zip file, right?
I believe so. Hold on.
Look in your downloads.
Sometimes the directory is not very forgiving for me to pull up something really quickly. So there it is. It's a .php file though.
Should be a zip file.
Yeah.
It's not.
And I don't have the program to open that one PHP file.
No, but as plugin is a zip. Like if you look at your iPage folder, you have a whole folder full of stuff. So
yeah,
it can't.
What I could do is maybe I could download the entire folder to my desktop and then upload that onto plugins.
Where did you get the plugin to start with?
It was created by a developer years ago, and I asked him.
Years ago.
Yeah, and I asked him to generate the sections here. So I've honestly not had the energy and the time. I mean, I'm very like, this is kind of a secondary project of having my portfolio online, and between that, I've just had so many other priorities, and I figured that.
I'm just going to say this because if it was developed years ago, it was probably developed using jQuery way back when.
Actually, I clarified that, and they said they didn't want to use Ruby on Rails. They just wanted to stick to WordPress, but it possibly could have been through
jQuery is not Ruby on Rails. Yeah. But the thing is that the new WordPress has deprecated jQuery, so
not completely, not yet.
No, but a lot of sites are not working correctly unless you add in the enable jQuery migrate.
Oh, I see. So,
okay, so Kevin, see this folder you have on your iPage there? That folder, WP-resume.
Yeah.
That folder is your whole plugin. If you open that folder, double click on that.
Yeah.
You'll see. Oh, there's a rename. Well, actually.
Yeah, I can. Okay, let's try this.
Okay.
Well, if you don't have the zip file, it's no good to rename it.
Well, let's just see what happens. We can try. Go ahead and rename it. Go ahead.
Let's put one after it.
Yeah.
Click save.
Okay.
Now it's so the zip. Well, we can make a zip file because all you got to do is download that folder and then we'll zip it up and we'll upload it as a new plugin, right?
Okay. So if I want to do that, I can click on that and just click download, right?
You tell me. This is your site, my friend.
It's hosted by iPage and the developers work with iPage. So
go back to click on the icon that says click on the one that says archive.
Archive.
Or not archive, but never mind.
I'm trying to find there it is.
That one. Archive. That will zip up it'll create a resume folder for you.
With the same name, right?
Yeah, that's fine. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it creates a zip file for you. Probably will.
I think it did its job. There was a icon and it disappeared, so it looks like it's
scroll down.
So scroll down and see if it's there in the list.
This one, WPI.
No. Just looking for a file.
Keep going.
That's the very bottom of the page.
You do a refresh on that folder.
Refresh.
Yeah.
There we go. Refresh.
Now scroll down. Nope, didn't do it.
Go inside of WP Resume 1.
Really?
Yeah, put it inside of there.
Click on the icon to, oh, it went back to. Yeah, this is it. It went.
Nope. No zip file. Well, go do a search and do a WP-resume1.zip.
Don't you have FTP access without the cPanel?
Yeah, I have this access without using that panel. Like
No, FTP, like FileZilla or.
Oh yeah, I used to use FileZilla, but I've had issues trying to open that up. I don't know what had happened. So, but I'll probably have to re-download FileZilla again and see if it will lead me to.
Let's not do that right now. We don't have time for it. Let's go back to iPage and just see if we can find that. It should have created an archive for you.
Okay. So let's go. I'm just going to go back up a folder or two. Let's just go back.
It's got, I mean, you clicked archive and it should have created an archive somewhere in here. Go into your plugins folder again. I'll rename that. Just type in WP-resume1.resume. Every character matters.
There.
Every character matters.
Search.
Yeah. But it didn't create that file. I tried it again. Go ahead and click that folder. Click the folder and click the archive link again.
And oh, that's just the folder, but I'm going to go back and click. You said archive, right?
You got to select the folder though.
Just go back up one.
Go up one level.
It's not as intuitive as a typical Windows Explorer.
Well, this is supposed to simulate Windows Explorer, but of course it's not even close to Windows Explorer. Doesn't do anything the same way.
Yeah. So here I found it again.
Okay.
So now I can just create that.
You know, you gotta go to the plugins. All I'm trying to do is get you to have the zip file again, because you don't have the zip file, obviously, right?
So that's strange. I'm
go to the plugins folder.
Yeah.
And then go to the right. And just go back to your WP resume, select the checkbox to the left of it. And then click the archive link at the top.
Okay. Yeah. We will call it that same name.
No, actually don't call it that. Just call it WP-resume.zip. I have no idea what it's actually doing here, but.
Okay, so it's done that. So I can just refresh it and let's see if it shows the. I have to go back up one, I think. Or no, it just shows WP Resume 1. It doesn't show the. Let's refresh this too. So it's not showing.
All right. How about you download the whole folder? Can you do that for me?
Okay. So let's try and download it.
I don't think it'll let you download because it only lets you download either like file structure, not folder structure. Because you see on the bottom, you have the hello, index, and thumb. You have a download icon there.
Here's what I'm going to have you do. Force iPage to send you a folder and make them fix this. This is ridiculous. This interface. So have them create a zip file of this folder for you, send it to you, and then rename the zip file WP-resume and then upload it.
Okay.
Because now go back to your website, make sure it's still loading, everything is cool. Because when you upload WP resume, it should be able to reload again.
Upload plugin.
Well, no, you don't have a plugin to upload, right? What we're trying to get at is the zip file contains all your plugin code, including everything that's like, you don't have a zip file here, so you're not gonna be able to upload anything, right?
Yeah, that's right. So even if I
So the zip file contains all the whole substructure of your whole system, and it's not that one PHP file. It's going to be a zip file of all the stuff inside of it.
Okay, I'll contact iPage and get them to create a zip.
Just tell them, look, I want a zip file of this folder right here, and I click archive and nothing happens. So obviously that isn't working, or we don't know how it works. Have them download it for you, then upload it using that plugin and activate it, because you need to see WP Resume in that list of active plugins. If you don't see it in the install plugins list, that shortcode is not going to work.
Okay. Okay. So I'll try and make sure they have the zip file for me to then upload as a plugin on my FTP site here. For FileZilla,
you're uploading the plugin as a zip to your WordPress,
to
your WordPress file server, to your WordPress administrator. You're not using FTP here. Don't use FTP at all, because that's not what this is. You're getting iPage to get you a zip file of WP Resume 1, and then you're going to upload that zip file to this add new plugin interface. And then once that happens, you're going to activate it, and it should show up in your installed plugins list. If it doesn't, go back to your coder and say, my zip file isn't working. My plugin isn't working.
Okay, so once I do have the zip file from iPage, I upload that into, is it this directory here, or is it?
No, forget file manager. Just close it. Don't even worry about it, because it's obviously not doing what you need it to do. Yeah. You're going to get a zip file, and you're going to choose the file on your computer after you've downloaded it from your email. Right here, choose file, and you're going to select that zip file. You need the original code of your plugin to be activated properly in your site. And for some reason, WordPress has lost track of that plugin being loaded at all altogether.
Yeah, that's the problem. It looks like it's even asking me to update WordPress, and I'm worried if I update it, then it's not going. I don't know if it'll have a configuration issue if I update WordPress.
So when developers tell you not to update their site, it means that they're not confident that their plugin has been written correctly. So the fact is that you should be able to update WordPress 5.7, but you should have a backup of your site in case something goes wrong. You can restore and go backwards, right? Because if you upgrade WordPress, you can't go backwards, right?
Yeah.
Once you reinstall the whole site from scratch, right? Yeah. So you don't have an overly complex site here, right? So
no, it's not meant to sell a service. It's not meant to, bring SEO or marketing. It's just meant to be like a
So you probably don't have a very old version of WordPress, so that's fine. You probably don't need WordPress 5.7, but if this plugin is important for you to use, and you need to have original zip file. Okay.
Right. Even if I were to take the site offline and not do, a lot of business with hosting domains, at least I can have this site offline and then just have a WordPress domain site. I mean, so I'll have to figure that out. And if I can download the zip file to my desktop, then I can re-upload that into the plugins here in FTP, and then see if that will show on the front end of the page.
Right. Once the plugin is active and functional, this should render something. Right?
Yeah,
these short codes should start rendering, but that's only if the plugin is functional. Only if it's functional. If it's broken, or if there's something wrong with it, or if it's not compatible, or a variety of reasons, it will not render, or maybe even throw an error.
Yeah, because I know the text boxes themselves are perfectly fine. It's just the coding behind that plugin is not populating that on the page.
Yeah, it's not installed.
Yeah, that's the problem.
The plugin is not installed. That's why you're.
Okay. Great,
look, folks.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your assistance in this, and I'll take the steps necessary to hopefully have this resolved. So let's see where that goes. Great.
I got a couple quick comments for Kevin. I know we're about out of time. Kevin, you don't have an SSL certificate on your site, so you're going to get warnings in searches. You also don't have a privacy policy, which is sort of by law, not a big thing. It says what you do with the data. You can use something like WP Auto Terms. It's a free plugin. You can define your auto terms. Your Twitter link doesn't work. Your Twitter feed thing goes to somewhere else, and you've got some minor syntax issues in your text.
Yeah, I noticed that too. That happened very recently, since I've had a site for ages, but I decided to not, like, I know my tweets have to be completely public for that feature to work, which I'll adjust that in Twitter to make it public, so it'll just auto-populate into the website itself. But I also purchased this service called SiteLock, which is part of iPage, and I pay yearly for that. And they do a great job of removing any malware or hacks or any bots. And but I thought I've done all of my due diligence to ensure that it would kind of go through. And if anything, there's a contact page, and that's where people can put in information. But I'm still on, and then there is a CAPTCHA that they could use. So, but you mentioned there was an additional service that I could look into. What was that called?
Well, no, well, most of these fixes are pretty minor, but your SL certificate, your security thing is something you need to get an SL certificate. Hosting providers usually provide it, or you can get something like simple SSL, but you're going to get a warning if anybody comes to you through the search engines about it unsecure.
Oh.
Right, it downranks you. You see up there in your URL, your site, I'm getting there's a little red lock with a line through it.
Oh, I think I saw that before. I'm just trying to find that tab.
Yeah, just if you go to your page, you look at the top in the URL, there'll be a lock with a red line through it. That tells you that you need an SL certificate installed. It's not a big
not
thing.
secure, right? Okay.
Right, that's a warning sign. It means it'll scare people away.
Okay.
The other stuff I observe that I noticed are kind of minor, easy fixes, but they're in there.
Okay, great. No, I'll definitely look into that and
good luck.
How that amended. It's kind of outdated too. I just lost a lot of faith in maintaining a site like this, because I've managed to accomplish its use years ago when I was able to have my footing in a kind of career. So great, but it's good, and I'm just revisiting this because I'm open to kind of freelancing now at this point. So it's just it's been a bit of a gamble trying to revisit this project again, but I'll try and incorporate your suggestions. And thank you very much for showcasing the site and these wonderful suggestions and feedback and stuff.
It sounds like we have a few technical people on the line, so if you want to stick around, I'll give you a book recommendation.
Okay.
Of people who want to learn about. What?
Sorry, I have a quick question.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Might be slightly off topic. A couple of days ago, I gave access to read and get reports through the Search Console to one of the other companies I work with. And for some reason, they got owner access to my Search Console, even though they say they did not upload a HTML file. They didn't even have rights to do it. On my WordPress, I'm not able to find the HTML file anywhere. I'm not able to delete him as a owner on the Search Console. Any ideas you guys can throw out and help me out here?
You grant Search Console to them, and you can't delete it now?
The only access I gave on the Search Console was to read and customize reports. That's it. But what Google says is when I click on trying to remove the access, it says the way they have uploaded it is they've uploaded a file to it, but they don't have access to my site. How can they upload a document to to the root? And I've searched through all means to find that HTML file. I even downloaded the whole.
Here's what I would do. I would remove your site from the Search Console altogether and just remove the site and then reactivate it again differently.
Okay, so are you saying that on another email I use or the same email?
The one that allows you to remove the site from your Search Console. When you log in with the Search Console, you should have a list of all the sites you've activated with Search Console. Just remove your site from it.
I'll try that. Fantastic. Good idea.
Yeah, because you don't want it to be activated anymore. You just kind of it's like the thermonuclear option. Just get rid, because Search Console is just a view of your search. You can add it again later, right? But by removing it, if you don't have access to remove it, something else, they've hijacked your site. So that's something completely different.
I have access through multiple.
Yeah, so you should be able to add or remove any Search Console entry, right? Once you remove it, then when they log in, they won't see anything, right?
Yeah, I'll try that. Thank you.
I wanted to share the people that are interested in understanding WordPress at a level that most people don't understand. I want to share this book that I recently heard about. It's been around for 9 years already. This is actually the first edition. There is actually a second edition. Let me see if I can find the second edition. The second edition was published last year, just late last year. It's called Professional. It's called. Let me see here. Professional WordPress Plugin Development, second edition. Here we go. The second edition was updated just a few months ago.
It's available on Kindle also.
Was that?
It's available on Kindle also.
Yes. This book is extraordinary. It's not one of these books that you come across very often, because most books on WordPress, in my opinion, are total garbage. I only say that because I've read a whole bunch of them, and they kind of come at WordPress as kind of like, they simplify the product and they're like, oh, this is a wonderful tool. But I like this book because if you're a technical person, you really want to understand what the heck is really going on, this is the book that actually explains what's really going on. And the reason why is that it has to explain it, because this book is written by 3 extremely successful plugin authors. Not 1, not 2, but 3. 3 separate plugin authors. And the foreword is by Joost de Valk from Yoast. Yoast, the fellow describes that Yoast is used by 10 million people in his foreword. So he basically signs his name to this book and says, "This, if you want to write plugins, this is the book to read." What I like about this book, I started reading it, is that first of all, it's written really well. It's not confusing. It takes you through, and it explains actually the breadth of what plugins can do. And if you didn't realize it, when you start reading it, you realize that plugins are WordPress. Actually, the whole system is a whole set of plugins, basically. Now there's core, but plugins are effectively what makes WordPress what it is. And then themes kind of as well, and it kind of delineates the difference between what themes should do and what plugins should do. But it's one thing I learned already is that themes and plugins are interchangeable. So like actually you can make a theme contain all the plugin code and vice versa. A plugin can contain all the theme code. They don't recommend you do that, but you can. So I didn't know that. I thought that somehow themes were something very, very unique and similar. But this book tells you, if you look at the table of contents, you'll see totally, like, even this first chapter is worth to read all by itself if you don't read anything else, because it explains at a very high level what exactly is happening when WordPress loads a web page in gory details. It explains exactly in a nice diagram what's happening. When you understand what it does, you get an appreciation of what's really happening. And it's, if you don't care, you kind of like set it and forget it and you don't worry. But when you start understanding the problems that occur and why performance issues occur and why WordPress does what it does and why it doesn't do what it does, this first chapter really is the best thing I've read about this anywhere on the internet. I haven't read anything as good as this first chapter. Excellently written. And then it goes on to basically help you organize and design your own plugin. It gives you a framework. There's some sample code you can download. It explains absolutely everything about how plugins should work. Then it talks about how to introduce options in the dashboard and all the different APIs that WordPress has to actually make a plugin be configurable. And then it talks about all the everything about security and performance, the whole chapter on that. And then it talks about hooks, very important idea of hooks. And it talks about filters and hooks as well inside of the same chapter. It talks about how to register JavaScript. There's a whole new chapter on blocks in Gutenberg. Probably, I'm very looking forward to reading this because this really explains what's going on and why is this so important. And you can see all the technologies that are here. There's a reason why Gutenberg is a big deal. It's not just because it is what it is. It's because it's using some fairly modern technology that most of the themes that are on the shelf don't use. So they're using some pretty high-end stuff here that themes that were written 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. These technologies didn't even exist. So it's pretty modern stuff. It talks about how to do custom post types and everything about that, about how to access user and metadata. It talks about scheduled tasks, internationalization, talks about the REST API in chapter 12, how to support multi-site in 13, how to, and then I don't know what the kitchen sink is, but it's probably a catch-all, all kinds of stuff. Debugging, the developer toolbox, and a bunch of downloads for all the chapter sample code. This is an extraordinary book. I can't say enough about how good of a book this is. It's totally worth $30 for ebook. You can get it at your library. It's a $60 Canadian book. Actually, this is the US thing. So it's an expensive book, but there's a reason for that. If you're interested in doing anything with plugins, developing or changing plugins, this is the book to get. WordPress plugin development, professional WordPress plugin development. And with that, we'll finish the meetup. I hope you guys had a good time, and ladies, thank you for joining. We will record this and post it to our YouTube channel, and there will be a blog post on wptoronto.com with our archives. We always have archives of our meetups. Robin McRae normally does a really nice recap. I will try to do that this month, but I can't guarantee I'm going to do it as good as he can. But we will have a video there shortly, and you can also watch previous videos with going back a few months, actually several months now. So thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Nice job.
Thank you very much for all your help. I appreciate that.
Thank you for joining. Join again.
How can I join next time, or where do I go for that information?
It'll be on meetup.com, but you can also go to wptoronto.com, which has links to our meetup site. So all the meetups are always on meetup.com.
Okay, meetup.com. Okay, and it's called WP. Sorry, WP.
Yeah, I shared it in the chat. wptoronto.com is our website.
Oh, there. Okay.
WordPress Toronto, and then the meetups, the actual schedule, the meetups and signing up, so you get reminders are on meetup.com.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Stay well.
Sorry, I tried to download the Nitro pack. I went to the plugin, adding plugins, but I couldn't find it.
It's in the chat. I think I shared it. Let me just see here.
Yeah, I went to my WordPress, I log in, and then I went to the plugin ads. It didn't show up.
It's Nitro Pack, all one word, I think.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Nitro Pack, all one word.
Okay. Perfect. Thanks a lot. Thank you. See you next time.
Take care, Fred.
Yeah, take care. Bye. Ciao.